Oh, an ACV kill. Alright guys, in this video, I'm going to be going over, I think it's six update ideas of what War Tycoon should add. So the first one is an aircraft carrier. So I've got two ideas for aircraft carriers. So we could either, maybe on a new map, when we have a whole revamp of it, have a much bigger dock where we can put an aircraft carrier on it. Just saying, aircraft carriers are massive. It'd probably stretch out from about there all the way to about there-ish. So this will be paired with my next suggestion. Or the other idea I had was to have an aircraft carrier like base, like out here. So maybe you could get on like a boat to get over there, or a skydiving plane, or just fly over there. And you could have like a little repair yard in it as well. I think that's a pretty cool idea for an aircraft carrier. Obviously a load of other stuff as well, but that's just the basics of it. Next one is a new map. I think this would be good for an aircraft carrier, and also the ships generally. Just because this map, if you don't know, was made just when tanks were added, so it was designed for tanks. But don't really fit planes or boats. You see these bridges here, which I'm firing at? They're actually too low down for ships to get across, like a USS Douglas. So you literally have to break them in order to get past it, which is really annoying. So I'm guessing if they do, they'll make the bridges a bit higher. And also for planes as well, because there's not really that much space. I mean, you could say there is, but there's really not, to be fair. And the cool idea, which I forgot who it was, but whoever it was, this is a really good idea that you had. To have like 4 different biomes, like in each of the areas, have 4 different biomes. And I think that's a really cool idea. Like, you know, it could be like a Vietnam jungle over here, a desert over there as usual. I don't know, like just like a flat land here, like the North European plain. Maybe like mountains here. Right, so my next one is one which I don't think many people have suggested, but it's actually to have more modifications. So what I mean by this is the highly requested thermal scope, which, well, we've kind of got it on an AC-130. But, you know, I'd want to look down my sniper here, and then just see a thermal on it, so I could see a nice red player right there. You know, when it's nighttime, it's really hard to see people. So I think I'd absolutely love it if we could get this. So I think a good idea would to make like a really hard quest for it, like kill 100 players at nighttime. That is a really hard quest, but it will be worth it. And then on the day that this gets dropped, it'd just be like chaos everywhere. It'd just be all calm in the day. And as soon as it turns nighttime, bam, everyone's dying. Another thing is mags. So let's find some. Let's go with the typical one, the L119A2. I use this myself because I'm trying to get all the modifications, so I'm probably going to switch to something else later. So you could change this for a drum mag, which, I don't know, it might have like 40. I don't actually know how a drum mag works, to be fair, but say you have like 40 or 50 bullets in it. Maybe also like a twin mag feature, where you can have like a second mag attached like right here. So then you can just like a quick reload, and then it takes a longer reload for both of them. Along with that, adding a scope for the Kar98, I think it'd make it, some would argue it'd make it a bit too OP because it is OP generally, you know, but no bullet drop. But I think with a sniper scope, this would be nice. Something else that I'd want, it's like another variant of the red dot, because I haven't got it on me at the moment. Pretty sure I've got it on a P90, let's just double check. Alright, here's one of them anyway, it'll do for now. This is the aim point red dot. There's also just the small red dot, which takes like 15 kills. And the one which I really do like is the one on the hammer scope. Right, I think this is it here. On the spear, I've got the hammer scope on it for some reason. It's this red dot at the top. I really like this. Like, just like the kind of like square red dot. I'm just really liking it. And if we could have that on its own, it'd be amazing. Yeah, my problem with this red dot though is because say I've finished everything in the L19A2, and then I'm quickly switching to the spear. If I scope in, this is way too zoomed in. So I need to press T to do this, and it doesn't save at that either. If I go to Sega, and I go back to this, it's back on that. So having this on its own would be sick. And also maybe changing the dot colour. I know that's a bit, like, a small feature, but maybe if you've got Camo Customizer, you can change the colours of some of the sites. That'd also be really sick. But just a few of my ideas, but generally just a lot more modifications would be sick. Right, the next one is the Riot Shield here. I made a video about this, saying how it's broken, and on my other video, where I went through types of War Tycoon player, I said that this is just that player who sits behind a Riot Shield the whole fight and doesn't fight you. So what I think should come to the Riot Shield is like a cooldown on it. I think someone suggested this in the comments. I'll just find out who. I'll give you a shout out. Just Another Man, that's what you're called. Yeah, Just Another Man, he suggested this. So, yeah, thanks for the suggestion. Basically, have a cooldown on the Riot Shield because it is way too annoying. maybe like 5 to 10 seconds. Because obviously I get putting it up for a second, you know, while you heal up a little bit. But, you know, once you've like gone 10 seconds, maybe it should be like a 20-second cooldown before you can use it again. Because people just get really annoyed with stuff like this. The next one is faction badges. Now this, I know everybody wants. Oh, look at this. An innocent little super stallion, is that? Oh, 3 kills. Alright, so all I can say is these oil barrels are now mine. I'm going to drive over the sea as well, so if they spawn in another heli, they can't get me. Oh, 3 oil barrels. That's actually really sick. Okay, so yeah, faction badges. Maybe on like helicopters, like on the side of this super stallion I've just stolen. They should have like, you know, your faction badge there, and maybe above your plane as well. Because if you're in a faction, you'll know that. Oh, there we go. See where the oil goes. Look at that go. Oh, do you see that? Oh my god, that was sick. I just got that on camera as well. That was absolutely sick, right? I know it's an explosive sniper, but that was sick. Alright? That snipe just then, that was amazing. Anyway, yeah, if you're in a faction, you'll know that if you're like 400 studs away, I think is the limit, you get like a little green dot above your head, but that's not far enough, especially with planes and that. So I think there should be a big, massive one. As soon as you see it in sight, there should be a big faction sign above you. And maybe if not, if that's a bit too much like on the graphics side, then instead I'd suggest putting it on the side of the plane or on the wings maybe. I done F-35. I'll go put a picture on screen now. It's got them little stars on it. I think there's some sort of US Air Force sign, but maybe you could change that to your thing, if you get me. Also another thing, allied factions. So like, you know, say my faction's not that big, so we're not really allied with anyone officially. So say on the flag, if that person's in a faction, their faction logo will display on that. I think that'd be pretty cool. So say you're in ATAF and you're allied with FFA. FFA players would have like a little blue dot above the head, or the faction logo if they decide to do that. I think that would look pretty cool. And also declaring war on other factions, because, you know, there are wars between factions. I just think it would be cool to have like a little red dot above people. Yeah, just having allies and enemies and be able to tell who they are. I mean, tell who people are, maybe from like 1,000 studs. That is what we need for faction badges and stuff like that. And that is it. There are the top 5 updates that I think War Tycoon should add. I need to ask you guys a favour here. So I'm suggesting Blacklisted, which is a pain because all I did is post something that was on Roadmap literally in about November when I hardly used the Discord, so I didn't even know it existed. Anyway, I went to appeal, which is a bit of a story here. I went to appeal, and it sort of got accepted while I was asleep, so I couldn't answer at any point for about 18 hours, and they closed it after 12 hours. They think that's enough time. So yeah, I just gave up after that. I can't be bothered really. So what I want you guys to do is suggest some of these things in the Discord server, and obviously, you know, kind of credit me in there, but I'm not too fussed if you don't put credit by them on YouTube. I don't really care, to be honest. Just put them in there, because these things getting added would be amazing. And if you've got any more suggestions, put them in the comments, because if I get another 5, I might make another video on this if this goes well. Anyway, that's about it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. And make sure to subscribe, because on Friday, when the update comes out, I'm going to be streaming the second that update drops. I'm going to be doing whatever quest it is. I also have some sad news. The Euro's not coming out. Yeah, it won't be coming out. I just read the devlog thingy, Bob, and it's not there. So sadly, we're not going to be seeing that.